Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about C functions. As we have studied in the features of C, that C is a modular programming language and it can be used to solve a large problem by dividing them into pieces or parts, and this thing is possible with the help of functions. C functions contain set of instructions enclosed by curly braces, and a function performs a specific task. A large program can be divided into different sub-programs. These sub-programs are self-sufficient and that they perform a specific task to solve a particular problem, and this sub-program is called a function. If we take an example of design of a calculator, we can say there can be different functions. For example, one function can be to solve the arithmetic functions such as plus, minus, division, multiplication, modulus, etc. And the other function can be for the trigonometric functions, and so on. And every C program contains main function, which is the compulsory function in C. Basically, C functions can be divided into two categories, that are user-defined functions and the library functions. Library functions are the inbuilt functions that are just called by the user in the main program by giving them some input. And user defined functions are the functions such as main, that include code according to the need of the user. C contains some library functions, as we have discussed in the last examples, that every C program contains header files such as stdio.h and conio.h, as these files contain definitions of the standard input output functions and console input output functions, and we just call these functions in our program by passing some arguments if required. And there are different library functions available to solve the tasks of mathematical computations, and string handling functions related with time. One such example is the printf function. Its definition is in the stdio.h header file. This function is used to print some output on the computer screen. Another example is puts function, that is used to print the strings on the computer screen. So these are the library functions that are already defined, and user just call these functions to solve the particular task. Other category of functions are the user defined functions. User defined functions are designed by the user to solve such problems whose definitions are not already present or whose solutions are not available in C, and user create the logic by giving the name to the function, and then it provides logic for the same. If we talk about the use of C functions, the main reason behind the use of C function is if we want to perform a specific task again and again, and this can be done by using C functions, as we can call a function many times without rewriting it. This saves the time and effort of the designer. And other thing is it helps the concept of modularity, as we have discussed earlier, because one C program can be divided and can be assigned to different developers for specific problems, and there is no limit in calling C functions. So We can call the same function again and again for different values. A large C program can be easily tracked when we divide it into the form of functions. Debugging is easy. We can check different parts of the program if they are in the form of function, and we can rectify the errors easily. Mainly this gives the idea of reusability and increases the understandability of the developer and the user also. So it becomes very easier to write a structured program by dividing large program into pieces. Another thing we have discussed, that it allowing the code to be called many times, we can update and read it easily, and debugging becomes easier. We can easily find and fix the errors. So if we talk about user defined functions, there are mainly three aspects about these. First, we need to declare the function, or we can also call it the prototype of the function. While giving prototype of the function, we need to mention the return type of the function. That means what the function will return at the end, and we have to give the name to function, and in round braces we pass the arguments if needed. Arguments are the parameters. For example, if we want to perform the sum of two numbers, then we need to pass two numbers to that function, that are passed as arguments. And after that comes the curly braces, in which you give the complete logic for the solution of the problem. This is called the body of the function. Then is the function call. Function call is performed in the main function. Function declaration can be done before the main function, or you can give function declaration in the main function also. And definition of function can be after the main or before the main. And but the function is called within the main function because the execution starts from the main function. While calling the function, we need not to mention the return type of the function. We just mention the name of the function, and argument list is passed in the braces, and its calling ends with the semicolon. So here we will take example of simple C program. Here you can see in the slide that we start the program from preprocessor directive, that is hash include. It adds header file stdio.h, that is for standard input output functions. We are including it into our program because we have to use some standard input output functions. Then next statement is float square. Here square is the name of the function and float is the return type of the function, and we are passing float x, that is float type argument to the function. As we know, float is a data type that is used to store decimal point numeric values. Here in this program we are declaring the function square with return type float, and we are also passing it a float type argument, and declaration is done before the main function, because in the main function we will call this function, but its definition is after the main function. And if we do not declare this function before the main, it will return error message when we will compile the program, because it will find that we are calling a function that is not declared. Then the main function starts, and we have mentioned its return type as int, because at the end we will return a value of integer type at the completion of the main function. And then from the curly brace main function definition starts. So here we are taking two float type variables, that are m and n. As we have discussed earlier also, that we need to create variables in a program to give some input to the program, because whatever we input to the program, there it should be stored somewhere in the computer memory, and we need to tell the system that which kind of data storage we need. For that purpose we need to mention the data type and the name of the variable. So just variable names are just a name given to a particular memory location where we want to store some data. Then next statement is printf, in which we are giving just a message that enter some number for finding square. In this program we are just asking user to enter some number on which we will apply the logic to calculate the square. This will print a message enter some number for finding square on the computer screen. And to provide input from the keyboard, here we are using the scanf function. In scanf function we need to mention the control string, or we can say the format specifier for the data type for which we want to input data. As we have taken m and n, two float type variables, and we will input our value in variable m. So we are using control string %f here to store float type value. And then we are using address of operator, that is ampersand m. Ampersand here is the address of operator. It tells a compiler to store the input value at the address of m. That means whatever address is assigned to m by the system, the value will store over there. And you can see the statement ends with the semicolon. In C, almost every statement ends with semicolon except the function definitions and preprocessor directive statements. All other statement ends with the semicolon. And next statement shows the function call. As we already discussed, that while calling functions we need not to mention the return type. Here we are just mentioning the name of the function square, and in brace we are passing it a parameter m, because value is stored in the variable m, and it will pass to the square function here. And when the control will come on this statement, it will search for the body of for the definition of the square function. And this statement, the last statement, is the body of the square function. You can see float square float x. This is the function definition. It starts with the curly brace. Here we have taken one more float type variable, as after calculation it will also produce a floating point value that we will input while calling in the square function, that was m. It will pass to variable x. Here x is a formal parameter, and m is the actual parameter. Actual parameter m will pass value to x, and then we will perform square. We will calculate the square of m by multiplying x into x, and the result will be assigned to p. This statement p is equal to x into x will calculate the square and the result will be stored in P. In this statement we are using two operators that are assignment operator, that is equal is a assignment operator here, and multiply is just performing the task of multiplication of x into x. First the multiplication will be performed and then the result will be assigned to variable p. And the last statement return p, it returns the value of p to the main function, and the statement number 18 from where we the function call started, and the control jumped at the definition of the square function. It will turn back at the statement 18, and the calculated value of square will get assigned to n. And in the next statement will print the result n. So we have written the message printf double quotes /n. /n here is for the next line. That means whatever result we want to print on the computer screen, first the control will go to the next line and then it will print the result over there, square of the given number. We have written %f, control string %f. This is for the to print the value of m is %f, and the second %f is for n. M stores the value that we have inputted from the keyboard, that for which we were calculating the square, and the second n contain the result. So at the end it will produce the result like this. First message will come, enter some number for finding square. We will for example we input 2 and then it will give us the result like this. So that's all for today. Rest we will discuss in the next lecture. Thank you.